Hi lads, me again. I made a mess as usual. Let me show you. Bam. Right, so ignored my home stuff, right? Focus on this. And this is my wife's 2010 GL450 headlight that I'm restoring. Obviously, I bought new lenses. And here's what the old ones look like. I tried to restore them multiple times already, but it's just not amount of polishing and all that stuff. It's going to take care of that. So while I was in there, obviously I transferred these. So the inside of the headlight, you have a couple of screws here, well, 3 to be precise, and this comes out. Don't know how to say this, but do not touch that at all, because it will just freaking scratch at the slightest touch. I already screwed the previous one, so very lightly with a microfiber or carbon fiber. I know it's not carbon fiber, but with microfiber cloth here, just slightly if it's dirty, which this was. So clean that up, which goes in the bottom. It's bottom side here. This where this will go. It's usually, not usually, but is mounted right here. There is 2 screws on the bottom, on the back, one here and one here, which is there, and I believe there. I mean, you can access it from the back. So that being said, I spare you the struggles of taking it apart, heating it up, all that stuff. So now I want to get to the meaty and gritty stuff. So this is what this looks like. So the plan is, first of all, come here. I've already done some repairs to these cables, but as you can see, throughout time, these get very brittle, right? Gets really hot in here. So I am redoing some of these wires. By the way, the brown is your negative, if you did not know. And on this side, for the high beam, you have a brown and a black. So negative is brown, black is your positive, FYI. So I will redo these wires with their respective colors, obviously, right? Positive and negative. And we are going to use something very, very, very cool. This is what I got. 150 watt H1 6K Xenon lights. Now these are massive. And what I mean by that is, let me show you. Stand by 1 second. So you have a understanding how big this driver is compared to the original one. I mean, this weighs 1 pound, maybe. I would say this is a good 3-4 pounder, easily. So that being said, here's the one I've done already. And if you notice something, wow, yeah, I did the projector headlights on both of them. I changed the projector light. What that means is I've got one of these, which will be for my low beam, and also removed the little mechanism that turns into low and high. It looks like that. Okay, I just removed the motor but left this bracket on, because this is what gives you the clear cut line, right, when you see it on the road. For the high beam, just straight up remove the entire thing inside. So I removed the entire thing. So this is from the high beams. Okay, so even with these brackets, everything. So the reason for that is This projector lens is from 2010. This is the new stuff. Even though you may say, it's Chinese or this or that, the difference is huge. You can see it yourself, right? Here, I'll even do the other one. All right. This lens, the newer one, are 10 times better. 10 times better. Unfortunately, they're not as big. They don't need to be any more bigger than this one, to be honest. I don't know. Where's my caliper? Well, I wish I could measure this, but my idea was, without even taking this apart, not knowing the size of this lens, these are obviously a bit smaller, so I was thinking to myself, okay, I can just modify this holder for the lens and then just pop in the new lens and I'll be good. But no, unfortunately that doesn't happen. I'll show you what I've done to the other one. We're gonna heavily modify this lens to hold this entire contraption here, well, the entire projector light. For the high beam is the easiest, and you just literally just stick it in here, make a slight relief cut in the back so you can tighten the nut in the back. But for this guy, the reason for all this modification is the place where this projector housing mounts, it's really big, and this one is not as big anymore. So I'm gonna have to utilize this metal, which is good. I'm glad it's not plastic, it's metal. So this is metal. So we're gonna make some relief cuts. We're gonna cut off these parts and we are going to mount this entire thing inside there. So that is problem number one solved. But problem number two is the size, not like wide, but length size. This, it does not protrude out as much as the original one, and it's a little bit recessed this way, so it's shorter. But the original one also, it's shorter, so it doesn't really cover it. Like, it's like this, it leaves space, like empty space in the back. It doesn't really cover the entire circumference of the circle here. So I said to myself, all right, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna try to retain this a plastic ring. So this is the outcome. I'm gonna show you again. Un minuto. All right, if you look at it straight up, right, there you go. This is what you get. And then out of the what is it called, the high beam, it actually protruding so much out that I was able to use that the black ring that comes with the projector light, and it's coming actually fairly close to this this circle here. But this one, it's just further down. So that being said, there's most likely some adjustments that will be needed, but last night I tested it against the wall. I'm sorry I don't have a video of that, but when I tested it, the light that I already done, comparing to the light that was not there, it was literally 10 times brighter than what it was before. So I will give you a step-by-step how to do this if you wanna take the challenge. Sweet. So what we're going to do next is we're going to turn this counterclockwise so they can go this direction and free up this just like that. There you go. There you go. I think you can almost turn it by hand, to be honest. And this comes out. It's free. Well, almost free. It's held by the high beam here. I'll just leave this on the floor because I really need my hands. So there you go. Just carefully pull. All right, here's the entire thing. This one could be a little bit how should I say, fragile. I cracked the other one. Hopefully it holds, but we're going to remove it from this side, so it simply comes out. Okay, so you just, I rather disconnect it from here because it's easier. You can also obviously pull, but you have a really good possibility breaking this. So I already learned my lesson on the other one. There was a lot of cursing and a lot of trying to figure out how to do it. So here's the empty headlight. Pretty good construction actually, to be honest. Very nice and tough. So I need to hit up and fix that because I really chew on this thing, didn't I? Yeah, it's all right. So a little hit will definitely fix this gap here. And so that being said, this is where you adjust the high beams. This is the low beams. You can find this here in the back. I don't know what this does. I think it's moving forward and backwards, but I'm not 100% sure. So, or maybe it's pulling the back, the bottom one, the bottom side, mainly putting it down. This one is putting it up. So I don't know, just an observation there. And while we're at it, I'll cut as close as possible here to the connector, just because this is all protected by this. So there's not much heat damage down here, so we're gonna replace this connector. We're not gonna need it anymore, and we're gonna replace these two with their respective positive and negative, and we're gonna have a brand new wires that I'm gonna have to solder, and we're gonna attach to, stand by, let me get this open, to this. So I'm going to utilize this connector, right? Goes to the positive and negative there. I'm gonna cut it off from here probably and just use this so I can have a really good solid connection to the ballast driver, right here. Sorry, can do this one-handed. So this one goes here, this goes to the light bulb, which is here, and these are 150 watts, right? And I'm gonna use this side for the high beam, and one for the low beam, one for the high. This entire contraption, or not contraption, this entire relay here system is for let me see, I think somewhere it says here, it's for the H4 bulbs. I'm not using H4 bulbs. I'm using the H1, was it? H1, yeah, H1 bulb. So yeah, that's it. Let's get into some modifications, some cutting and soldering and all that shenanigans. By the way, if you decide to do this, and you will pretty much have to make cuts in the back of this one, you're gonna completely have to modify this, so you can say goodbye to your headlight if you fuck it up. So yeah, right, just remove the halogen bulb. We've come a long way you know, with this stuff. I mean, I swear, this is how this one used to connect. You just put it in there and then twist, that's it. So easy in and out job. Now, because this will have to go inside here, I'm gonna have to, well, first we're going to remove this, like the brackets where you use this thing to hold your bulb. So we can remove the nut here and slide it in here, but when the nut comes in here, I have no room for me to turn the nut or make it even really nice and tight. So we're gonna cut along this edge here. Okay, this is plastic, but it does seem to hold pretty good. It's very strong. So I'm gonna go cut that with my Dremel tool, and I will show you what it's supposed to look like, because this is the easiest to modify. And yeah. Alright, I hope the camera caught that. You just have to kind of dance around until you cut just enough, okay? Alright, as I mentioned, I just removed the 3 little screws. This comes out, alright? Screws are in here. So, this is the top parts with a little cutouts, because this two snap in here, so we know that's the bottom. All right, the xenon lights, this is the bottom, so it will go like that simply. All right, this is how it's going to look from the back. That's why we cut just enough so we have enough to grab something and tight my nut. This is what I use, so I'll tighten it, put it together, and show you what it looks like. All right, I tighten the nut. Remember the orientation. Here's the bottom, here's the top, the bottom of the xenon light, and this is what it looks like. All right, hello. So I'm gonna put in my little screws. And actually, I have to file down, once they're tightened, I have to file them down just a little bit to be flush. I'll show you why, because they protrude a little bit out, and when I try to put in the bulb, they are on my way. So, I'll show you how I've done that. Alright, so, you see how I've, filed down them just a little bit. By the way, oh yeah, I used a very small file. If it focuses, there you go, it's like a triangle, you need the flat space, right? And when I was filing this down, I was filing it pointing up, so any of the metal shavings will fall down rather than go inside the projector light. So yeah, use your brains. So now this is done and it's pretty much ready for light. And there's a couple of things actually that come with the kit depending on which kind of bulb you have in here. This is what the kit comes up. You can definitely use some of these silicone, I think washers or whatever they are, but I didn't. It ties pretty good by itself, and I'm afraid that if I use one of these, it's the nut will come undone after some, you know, heating cycles. So nice and snug. I didn't overdo it, but it's tight, it's in there. So now this is done, and believe it or not, it is not heavy at all. So this should be perfectly okay for this and this thing to be a very good anchor for the high beam sight. For here comes now the most painful one, which is the low beam, and I'm going to disassemble this one shortly. I'll show you how. Pretty easy peasy. So we'll go there. Let's do it. Right, after a short interruption, we'll remove the 4 T, what is it, Torx, what's 20. Okay. Oh my gosh, I just found out I might have put the other headlight without the bulb. That will give me an issue. Ha! It's one of those fuckers here. Anyway, I put it right here. So now this is clear, okay, to remove. Why we're doing this? To remind us once again, take a look on the inside. The reflector is halfway burned through. Well, not halfway, but it's burned through already, right? This projector light is not really cutting it anymore. Here's a comparison with a newer one, right? So what we're going to do, we're going to utilize this housing. Why? It's because we're going to be able to cut this portion off, and we'll be able to slide the new one back in, okay, inside within this housing. And how we can do that is we're gonna drill out some of the kind of rivets, not rivets, but some of these that hold the actual projector. And by doing that, what I'm trying to accomplish with this method is because this is now too small. I can't even mount it. And how do I know if I mount it in the right place? Is it in the middle? Is it the center? Because this one is not really sitting in the center. It's really like that. So I have some space to play with. So I cannot make any custom brackets, or I mean, probably I can, but it will take freaking forever to get the positioning correctly and the depth correctly and all that stuff. So you know what? We're just gonna utilize this as our mounting point to this plastic holder here, and we're gonna mount that within this guy. Luckily, Mercedes make this one of metal. Yes. So let's go drill out some stuff and show you how it goes. All right. Hope you can see me. If not, too bad. Drill. I'm gonna drill through here now. Well, first, before I start that, let's remove this thing because it is precious and I don't want to scratch it. There you go. Simple as that. So, back to my theory. I wanted to just remove the lens out of here. You can easily do that by these tabs. You can bend them back and maybe insert a new lens, but I can't. They're not the same size, unfortunately. Fortunately for me, I'm somewhat handy, so let's do this first. I still want to preserve it. Aha, there you go. Easy as pie. Here's the other one. If someone wants this, let me know. All right, next we're graduating to some cutting. So, well, actually, before I start cutting, we're going to remove this ring first. So where is my smaller screwdriver? And I'll show you what oh, never mind. So basically I'm bending 2 tabs in here. This comes out, and now we're just going to trim along this edge here, and we'll be able to slide in the other one with other modifications.
Let's clean this up a little bit.
Stupid rookie mistake. Alright, now kind of deburr it a little bit. Let me show you the plan. Okay, now we can slide it in. We have room for the nuts, but not too much room. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark, and I swear I had a Sharpie somewhere here. Luckily I put it back where it belongs. So I want to trim some of these edges here a little bit. Oh, first of all, what, I'm so dumb. Let me see which one is the bottom and which one is the top. So this, the bottom is here. On this one, the bottom is here. Okay, so yeah, I had it good the first time. Now we're gonna trim this side a little bit. Slightly out of here. All right. Now, hope you can see, but we're going to trim just a little bit out of these corners. This is aluminum. Okay, I'll put it aside. I don't want to screw it up. And we're going to trim around here so it can sit a little bit deeper. Okay. Alright, bottom part. Yes, it looks about right. Good. So now we're gonna go bolt this in nice and tight. Make sure you clean it, and we'll be ready to go. All right, here it goes. I put in the little holder here for the lamp. We don't need to shave these screws because it goes right in. And this is the clip for it. In fact, the quality of this projector light versus this one has some differences. For example, this one is a little better just because you look at the locking mechanism, how bent this one is, and look at the other one, barely bent. So I'm gonna match those, to be honest. Okay, so it has a nice good grip on the bulb, and they even give you 2 extra screws in case you mess up one of these. Very nice. So oh yes, the ring. So I didn't find an adequate way to put this on. I just put it in here. It's kind of snug. Once you snap it in, it's snug and it's most likely going to stay, and if it doesn't, well, shit. You know. So let's put this back in this bezel or whatever the hell it's called, and well then we'll do some wiring, because before we obviously set apart, because look at that, it's even breaking from here. So we're going to solder and replace all this stuff. All right, let's do that. All right, here's the final outcome. I cleaned it with a carbon fiber rag. Just put in the ring. It's snapping pretty good. I'm not gonna go. I mean, it's not doesn't have a like a place to snap in, but it holds pretty well. So this is it, the new lens. And also, yes, the other one was also a little bit offset. That's why I did not want to do any custom bracketing, because I would have never get this correct spacing. The only thing is the depth. The original one, it's maybe half an inch, maybe forward. It's bigger. So that is done. Let's proceed with wiring. And how bad the wiring is in this stuff. Look. Why? Like, yeah, I mean, it is 15 years old, but I think they should be able to be withstand more than that. So let's start eliminating. Pretty much I'm gonna cut it down here where it's more flexible still. Obviously, once again protected by this reflector. So yes sir, let's do it. All right, soldering done. Here how it looks. Yellow is the reds, brown is black. Here they literally connected there, and as you can see they're doubled up. Okay, and it's so funny. There you go. Let's fix that. There you go. That being said, we're gonna put some heat shrink. Here's what a solder looks like. I accidentally touched it here with the soldering iron, so it melted a little bit, but that does not matter because we have a heat shrink, which I just went and got from Home Depot. There you go. I'm gonna try to do this somehow. There you go. Man, it's so hard to do one-handed. I don't know how some of these guys do it. There you go. Noise. All right, so high beam, low beam. We're gonna feed the wires through, and we're just gonna let them be until we assemble the headlight now. All right, I'll show you how that is done. There you go. First I put this side, lock these, then I snapped the bottom ones, okay, and then I put my finger in here, and then there you go, that snapped in. So now I ain't going nowhere. Good. This is how the wires look, and even though you can see here after I bend it, it starts to crack. Well, that's how it's going to be, I guess. So next is this guy. It's gonna go in here. So let me put that in, and then let's see if I can get you guys some kind of a visual. Here's the old high beam connector, and look at that, those wires are already kaput, literally. So yeah. Again, T20. Where did I leave the screws? Seriously, oh, there you go. Well, I cannot show you guys, but give me a second. It's in very uncomfortable place, so I'm just There you go. So there in the back there's one here and one over here. I don't know if you can see it, it's right there. So there you go. Dang it. There you go. Ready. And now I barely touched it and I left a mark there. This is not gonna be visible, to be honest, so slightly without any pressure you can wipe it off. So now we're going to focus on the back, where we need to make a hole in this one, just like this, so we can fit the grommets. And the reason why I haven't put the end connectors yet is a very good reason. Let me bring this here. Yes, so we can feed the wires through here, and we're gonna have a nice, perfectly even seal from the what is it called? The moisture. So I'm gonna go drill a hole here, and then we'll proceed. Here I installed the bulb, secured very good. Here's my positive and negative, and look how it goes through. So let's put the cap on. Right, the final product. I said this will seal the moisture just fine, right? We're gonna rinse and repeat. Okay, as promised, I've cleaned it, and this is what it looks in the back. Okay, now let's solder some connections. We're going to borrow, luckily, so this is the old one, I believe. Yeah, we're gonna borrow from here. All I really need is these, okay? And then we're going to borrow this one as well. Sweet, that is done. There you go. Now we have a positive and negative that can plug in perfectly good with our power supply. So that being said, here comes the most hideous part, putting back the lens, and I'm going to just hit up around. I'm gonna fix this really quick. This is easy fixable. Just the butylene, I think it's called butylene. I'm gonna fill up some of the gaps. I have some butylene right there, so I'm gonna fill up a little bit, hit it up, and then install this guy. So yep, it's a hideous process, so I'm just going to put it on and then show you the final product. Okay, done. It took me a while, but I got it in. This is what it looks like. If you look at it straight ahead, you barely see the gap in between, but here is more noticeable. With the original there was still half an inch gap, and I think this one added another half an inch, so it's close to an inch. This one was always kind of empty, but now with the black rim around the loop, I think it looks very nice. So that's how, ladies and gentlemen, you retrofit a Mercedes headlights with new projectors. Now I'm gonna tape all these when I find a proper place where to mount these guys. I gave myself plenty of room there, and we're gonna go install it now and give it a try. Well, this is what it looks like when they start up. All right, let's do the high beams. You see them kind of flicker there, but they're gonna load up and become much more bright. You see how the light is spreading? It is very bright, extremely bright, and this is what it looks like. Obviously I need to line up the car that side is actually a little bit down, so I'm gonna turn it on, let it come to full height, then park it somewhere in a flat wall, maybe here, and then do my adjustments. Nice, this is gonna be super bright. I love it. There you go. I wish I had yesterday night's I had taken a short video, a picture, what it used to look like, the old versus the new, but sorry guys, shit happens. So